Hello and welcome to another episode of Wealth Creators on CNBC TV 18. My guest today, Shantanu Prakash, the man behind Educomp and the man who made education a sexy word for the stock market.
This is the story of a dreamer with a difference. He not only achieved his own dreams but helps many others do it day in and day out. Shantanu Prakash, a middle-class boy from Delhi, decided to walk the road less travelled. After IIMA, when most of his classmates opted for cushy jobs at MNCs, Shantanu decided to set out on his own. And 17 years later, he has no regrets. And why would he? After founding Educomp in 1994, he has been changing the face of Indian education on a daily basis.
Shantanu, welcome to Wealth Creators, and I believe you're actually from the whole DPS alumni.
Yes, indeed.
You know, tell me, were you a geek at school? Were you like into computers and you thought this is what I want to do, or did it start off much later for you?
I was a child who was breaking all the rules in the class.
Really?
So show me a rule and I'll say, look, I need to break it. So I think I was definitely known as somebody who wouldn't conform to the dotted line and somebody who would be really creative in the classroom. Seem like somebody who's not studying at all and then pull a surprise at the last minute.
At the time that you got out of IIMA, Shantanu, a lot of people from your batch probably went into an MNC company, went into a structured job. You really did go down a path that people did not go down. You know, what excited you about this and what made you want to be an education entrepreneur?
I was pretty much set in my mind when I went to business school that I wanted to be an entrepreneur, do something different, and probably if I walked down memory lane, I would credit the fact that I read a lot when I was right from like grade 3 or 4. And I used to read all the Arthur Haley, the Robert Ludlums of the world, and they're all about painting a larger than life fantasy. The exciting life of being on your own and doing something which was very risky and risk-taking. Now, given the, where India was in the late 80s, the riskiest thing that I could do passing out of business school was actually to start a business.
Absolutely.
And a lot of people felt, you must be completely crazy. In fact, the truth is that even before I took the decision that I would go to IIM Ahmedabad, I actually toyed with the idea that should I actually spend these 2 years in a B school or should I actually launch something on my own? So when I passed out of B school, it wasn't a decision about should I do something on my own or not. That was a decision that was taken maybe like 7 or 8 years back.
It's been a phenomenal business model where a lot of large IT education companies have faltered. I think Shantanu has shown what a little bit of a dream can do, and he's just changed the equations completely in the education space. We need 100 more Shantanus to make this India education story come true, and I think the wealth creation that he's done is not just from a market perspective, but I think the social and national ramifications of it are far intense.
You know, Shantanu, just to approach the whole entrepreneur thing from a different point of view, I've been speaking to a lot of people who are part of this Wealth Creator set, and I think what stands out is that not everyone is from the same background. One person is from a middle class background who never had exposure to equity markets. One actually got a business down from his father. Do you think to be a successful entrepreneur, you need to be from a certain financial or educational background? Because I don't know what it was for you.
No, I think it's completely, at least that quality is completely overrated. I think firstly, if you want to be a good entrepreneur, I'm not talking about whether big entrepreneur or small entrepreneur, you need to have vision and passion about what you really want to achieve. And then there are certain, I think, universal principles of entrepreneurship, starting with risk-taking, starting with is the opportunity big enough, then going to are we going to make enough money doing this, what's a sustainable competitive advantage, and so on. So it's not about knowing finance. A number of really, the best entrepreneurs in the world haven't come from the world of finance, but they were masters of what they did.
But specifically for you, Educomp is a risk-taking game. It was a risk-taking game when you started it off, wasn't it? Is that the biggest thing that stands out about what you did, that you took a big risk?
When I started Educomp, it was not so much about risk or no risk. It was about there is this huge problem in Indian education, and I had been a victim of that when I was in school. So look, imagine the life of a student in school. Kids should be out there enjoying themselves, enjoying learning. But that rarely happens in Indian classrooms. Classrooms are typically overcrowded. The best and the brightest of India don't become teachers. They get into professions like TV journalism.
Entrepreneurs.
or they do other things in life. Okay,
Yeah.
the curriculum is extremely stressful. The assessments are all focused on rote learning, and there is so much competitive pressure. Okay, so one of the things that I set out to do was, can I make a change? Can I make an intervention? And then I thought that computers and IT, when I started the company,
Sure.
IT and computers were just sort of coming on. And there were these magical tools in my hand. And I was so excited. I said, if I can use this to liberate the child and make him break away from the drudgery of the classroom, I would have accomplished it.
Today, India's enrollment in the age group 18 to 24 is only 11% in universities. All emerging markets have 25% and developed markets maybe 50-52%. So if India has to drive up the enrollment rate from 11 to 25%, technology becomes a need on which educational services have to be built.